Hey, hi, my name is Chris. Every day I'm doing a vlog and I'm doing it for 1,000 days, guys. Yes, 1,000 days. So if you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Maybe hit that notification bell or that thumbs up. That would be absolutely amazing. Or even drop a comment. Every day I talk about something uniquely different, and today is no different, because today, make sure you marry the right one. Marrying the right one. Well, I think the average time for people here in the UK to get married, where they spend time together before they get married, is approximately 3 years. Yep, 3 years. I think that's probably about right. And whilst you can't know absolutely everything about somebody, you can at least have maybe experienced some of the highs, the lows, maybe seen some of those red flags that have popped up. But what happens if you do marry somebody and then some ways into it, you just feel like, oh my gosh, what have I done? What have I done? And that is an awful place to be. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are testament to that. Now, interestingly enough, I saw a video today where this chap said before you would entertain getting married to somebody, when you felt like you were at that point of doing it, you'd go to the church and you would meet with the priest, the vicar, whomever, and you would almost complete a test to see where you were in terms of compatibility. And if that test wasn't sort of yielding anything successful, then you wouldn't get the thumbs up from the clergy, and you would more than likely just not get married. And maybe there's a lot to be said for that. Maybe these old traditions which have faded away, especially here in the UK, have disappeared. And maybe if we had these old traditions back, maybe that would be something that we could would help with maybe the divorce statistics. Maybe it would be something that would help with that. But make sure you marry somebody for the right reasons. Now, the best reasons you could ever want to marry somebody is because, well, you love them and they love you. And what is love at the end of the day? Well, a wise prophet called Tina Turner said, love is but a second-hand emotion. Well, she wasn't a prophet, I know, but I kind of feel that there's a lot goes on in the mind and in the heart on the run-up to people getting married. Now, getting married is, I think, still a serious thing, because there's the weight of the law behind it. It's a partnership. Some people even say today it's a business contract. Love should never come into it. Well, I don't know. Marrying somebody, I think, should have love at the centre of it. But maybe you've got to consider all these other things. And these other things, I think, are so important, especially when two come together. You've got to be compatible, haven't you? I think, for me, humour plays a massive part in a relationship. So if you're getting married and you don't have humour or laughter or fun, then what have you got? I don't know. And if you've got a facsimile of it just a little bit now and again, is that enough for you? Is it enough for you as a couple? Do you operate on that level? I think you've got to have similar interests, or be the type of people where you really accommodate the other person in terms of what their interests are. And how that happens is entirely up to you. But you have to be willing to be able to put yourself out there and say, I'm going to support them in whatever their endeavours are. But if they do stuff that you don't like, is there going to be any mileage in you getting married and having a partner, having a husband, having a wife? Is there going to be anything in that? Maybe not. I don't know. Life is so complex, isn't it? And there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of issues around why people would get married and why they would tie the knot, as they say. You've got to be so compatible on every single level, personality-wise, financially. Hey, there's one. Finances. People tend not to talk about finances on the run-up to getting married. Do you inspect each other's bank account? Do you have a look at how much debt the other person's got? Is that something you do in the run-up to getting married? Marrying the right person maybe means, well, would you want to take on all their debt? Would you want to do that? If they've got a debt of, say, 100,000, 50,000, what is that acceptable number for you? So much involved in getting married. Marriage is so, I think today, so important. I don't know what the numbers are. I know somebody who works in the field of providing flowers for weddings. She seems very busy. She's very active in terms of producing this product for weddings, and I guess the busy wedding season is upon us, isn't it? It's the summertime normally. People plan for that. The good weather, the sunshine, the blue sky, and it's the build-up, a culmination in basically the union of two people involving both sets of families, and the celebration that can take place can be absolutely wonderful. Although I'm aware there are some wedding stories, horror stories, that people have regaled and talked about. Getting married, finding the right partner is so important. Get the wrong partner in life, well, it can mean you losing an awful lot of wealth, losing a lot of financial equity, and it could mean the destruction of your lifestyle as you know it. But the benefits, find the right person, well, you could almost triple, double it. It's infinite what could happen. Have the right person on your side, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. And, oh look, can you hear in the distance there's some church bells ringing? That's a sign, maybe. That's a sign. I don't know. Of course, if you get in with the wrong person, you could end up in this place. And it's not a great place, and I'm just going to show you. You see this place over here? That's what we call a scrap heap. You don't want to, I'm joking obviously, you do not want to end up in a scrap heap. So that's why it's so important to try and find the right person. And don't rush it. And I think it's better that you stay on your own. It is better that you're on your own. Because the damage that can be inflicted can be immense, and it could reverberate for a very long time. Could even reverberate for a long, long time, as in a lifetime. And that's not good for you. And it gets even worse if you have children with the wrong person in that marriage, because you'll be paying child maintenance then, and you'll be stuck in this awful place where your financial situation becomes so much worse. Especially here in the UK, there's something called the Child Maintenance Service, and they're almost renowned for being difficult and, shall we say, lack of care. And I read a horrible statistic that there's about 100 fathers this year in the UK alone which have committed suicide based on their interaction with the Child Maintenance Service. And that's horrible. So that's why you should find the right person to be married to. And that is so vitally important. If there's any doubt in your mind whatsoever, then please don't tie the knot. Don't do it. Save yourself a heartache. Have the good grace to walk away. Yes, there will be pain. Yes, there will be tears. Probably on both sides, but it will save you crying every day for the rest of your life. Because that would not be great. Because life is to be celebrated, enjoyed, loved, whatever you want to call it. It should be. You should have some delight in your life rather than some horrible existence. And you'll be in servitude then if you marry the wrong person, probably for a very long time. It could really impact on your lifestyle and your existence. So try and have some thought about it. You've got to marry the right person. If there's any doubt, leave it out. And if you do marry the right person, oh my gosh, that's amazing, isn't it? If there are no red flags, if there are things that you find adorable about that person, if they present to you in a way which, although they've got minor idiosyncratic things which could be annoying, but they're so sweet to you, and you really, really adore that person and love them and don't see it as a negative, then that's not a bad thing. Of course, if there are obvious glaring red flags, then you're going to have to look at that and decide if that red flag is big enough for you to completely, you know, be able to say, I'll ignore it. But on the whole, try not to ignore red flags. They're there for a reason. You know, what's acceptable now may not be acceptable later on. And the issue they have now might be amplified over time and might actually get worse and do you down. So there's lots of reasons to marry the right person. And it can affect your family too, because they might not agree with your choice. I think very few family members will actually tell you they disagree with your choice, because the risk is that you'll ostracize them from your life and just carry on and live it the way you want to live it anyway. So think about it. Think carefully about who you have as the person that you're going to marry. And if you do that, you'll be absolutely fine. Just remember, love is special when you find it. And if you have that connection with that wonderful person who you can't live without, then that's something special, and it's worth holding out for. And if you find love, and a lot of people don't, but if you find it, well, just got to hold on to it as best you can. And that is, I guess, my advice. So look, every day I post a video, and every day is something uniquely different. I'll be back again tomorrow with, like I said, completely new subject to talk about. If you could subscribe and maybe give me that thumbs up and make a comment, I'd really be interested in your take on this today. So what are your thoughts? On that note, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, bye now.